Jujutsu Kaisen Zero delivers supernatural spectacle with MAPPA Flair. Disclosure: the author of this review is also an editor for Crunchyroll News. Like an American comic book in the mid-90s, Gege Utabi's Jujutsu Kaisen manga ought to explore the past in the zero-number prequel story. The tale, appropriately titled Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, serves as a perfect template for a theatrical outing that could be digested in one curse scoop. Coming just shy of 2 hours of covering the entirety of the prequel story without bordering viewers with a ton of pre-release lessons and lore. After making a splash in Japan, where it now sits among the top 10 highest grossing anime films of all time back in December, Jujutsu Kaisen series is getting ready to bring its battle to North America and a bunch of other regions around the world. It is a spectacle worth catching on the biggest screen possible if you can get the opportunity. When we first met Yuta Okotsu, he's ready to die. He's ready to be executed for his perceived crimes of curse abuse, ego and suffering. But Satoru Gojo has different plans for him. While Yuta may feel crushed under the weight of his particular curse, there's untapped Jujutsu sorcerer potential in there, and you could prove a great access to Jujutsu High and the world at large if you could get the learn. Just learn to harness his power and use it to dispel others. Of course, this is easier said than done. Not only does Yuta have to attempt to control an immensely imposing curse with powers of no magnitude, he also has to earn the respect of his new peers, Maki Zenin, Toki Inumaki, and Panda, while gearing up to face the villainous curse user Suguro Geto, as he Geto previously expelled from Jujutsu Kaisen for the crime of massacring innocents. He's not nothing more than a raid in the world of non-sorcerers, and he has a curse-filled plan to do so on a very special occasion that will be known as the Night Parade of 100 Demons. There's an argument to be made that Jujutsu Kaisen Zero will have worked even better as a mini-series of sorts. Give it 6 episodes to flesh out the relationships between Yuta and the rest of the Jujutsu High students, and it might feel as if some one of those bonds were more earned in the end. As it stands, the audience is left feeling in a lot of the history between characters with the help of brief montages, and a bit of forced familiarity, which compromises some emotional beats in the third act. Yuta himself is mostly defined by one key moment in his past, and his connection to childhood friend Rika, who remains by his side after her ultimately death in the form of a powerful curse. Even in the face of some missed opportunities, it's hard to deny the spectacle on screen during the movie's intense speed set pieces. MAPPA shows off its flair to dynamic cuts at any given opportunity as Yuta becomes accustomed to wielding his curse for the greater good. Due to the nature of Rika's abilities, there's an air of unpredictability to these showdowns, especially once we get our first glimpse at what Rika looks like in full-blown colossal curse form. The rest of the classmates deliver similar thrills as Maki flips and spins, landing heavy blows and taking down curse foes with acrobatic ease. MAPPA clearly saves much of their heavy artillery for the moments in which fan-favorite Jujutsu sorcerer Satoru Gojo gets an opportunity to shine. Some of the most impressive sequences, however, brief maybe, involve Gojo unleashing a flurry of blows and evasive maneuvers. The animation in these fights, as well as during pretty much anything featuring main antagonist Suguro Geto, is absolutely electric. Jujutsu Kaisen Zero is in many ways an ideal way to present an anime film to the masses. It's not a one-off, non-canon exhibition film, like you might get with an annual shonen showcase. It also isn't quite as demanding as Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba the movie Mugen Train, prior to which audiences will have an ideal watch the entire first 26-episode season of the TV anime that didn't stop Mugen Train for being an absolute record-breaking beast in the box office both in Japan and abroad, but it gives Jujutsu Kaisen Zero a leg up in terms of sheer newcomer appeal. That's not to say that it doesn't help to be familiar with the source material before seeing Jujutsu Kaisen Zero. Having watched the first MAPPA-produced season of the anime adaptation, or even having some passing knowledge of author Gege Akutami's manga will no doubt make this a richer experience, no matter how versed you may be. Drawn, you smack dab in the middle of the golden age of theatrical anime making its way to cinemas outside of Japan, and Jujutsu Kaisen is one you want to watch while you can. Recommended. Jujutsu Kaisen Zero hits North American theaters on March 18.